I found a way to grow my photography skills, streamline my workflow, and keep building my creative dream even in the tiny pockets of time between toddler bedtime, laundry, and full-time job. And today I'm sharing how I do it with a little help from my creative assistant, ChatGPT. By the end of this video, you will know how to use AI to plan shoots, find your style, and stay creatively inspired even when life is full. If you are here, I'm guessing you've got a camera and you are hoping to move towards your photography dreams. That's why I started to use ChatGPT not as a search engine, but more so as a creative assistant. Now if you watch my video on how to define and find your photography style, you know how important it is to understand what are the elements that you like and don't like, and understand what resonates with you as a photographer. ChatGPT can also be a very helpful critic and advisor in this. You can upload a screenshot of your portfolio, your Instagram feed, or maybe some of the images that you are the happiest with, and ask for feedback. So I ask, can you give me feedback on my images by listing the main themes that run through my photography and give me 3 words that describe my work? Give me feedback on how I can improve to achieve a consistent style. ChatGPT gave me feedback that my work has a warm, intimate, and storytelling style, and it also gave me ideas how I could achieve a more consistent feel across my photos. Now take it with a pinch of salt, because obviously at the end of the day you are the creative and you need to follow what resonates with you, and not everything needs to look the same, and it's great to experiment, but I find that asking for feedback never hurts, and also you may find some interesting aha moments and considerations that you may want to try out and see if that helps improving and moving towards your visual voice. And by the way, you could also do this for other photographers' work as well and ask to learn about their photography style. It can give you guidance on how to achieve a specific editing style or shooting style, and so you can experiment with that. It gives you a self-directed learning path, especially if you don't have time to complete a full course. I often use ChatGPT to generate photo ideas. So for example, if I have a topic or a photography project idea, I ask it to give me inspiration of the photos I could take, the composition or the posing, or even if I feel I have a lot of different ideas in my brain and I want to bring them together in one single photo shoot, but I can't really organize my mind, I ask ChatGPT to do that for me. And it is really such a good food starter. For example, I have this photography project idea for a very long time and it is yet to come to fruition. I would like to call it Colors of the Wind, after this song from Disney's Pocahontas. If you listen to the lyrics, it's all about how we are one with nature and everything around us lives. We are all equals and connected to each other and responsible for each other as well. I absolutely love the message of the lyrics, and I also love the fact that it has the colors in the title, because I love working with colors and I'm thinking how I could bring this into life through colors and convey the message through a photography project. But it's such a big topic that I don't know where to start and break it down based on what's available for me. I can ask ChatGPT this. Could you give me photo ideas, inspiration of how I could bring to life the lyrics from the song Colors of the Wind in the Pocahontas Disney movie? I would like to capture our connection to nature, explore wide frames featuring my son or my dog or our family and nature in some way or details. Could you give me some potential shot list for this project? At this point, I could then exchange ideas back and forth. I can mention what ideas I like, or I can also add my own ideas and have a chat with my creative assistant. I find this as a super helpful and exciting way to organize my foods. And by the way, you can also save this into a folder and ask to save this short list. The folder itself won't be visible, but ChatGPT will remember it when you come back to it. Another way I like to use ChatGPT is to help planning my photo shoot. When I'm going out for a photo shoot, mostly with my son and my dog, I ask to give me ideas on timing of the day, location ideas, outfit coordination, props or posing. For example, in my video where I took a summer portrait of Kemi and the photo shoot was planned in a patch of white wild flowers, I asked ChatGPT to give me ideas on outfits and the colors I could use that would make the image feel harmonious and summery. And I also asked ideas on what props I could use in case Kemi doesn't really want to cooperate and look into the camera, but I still can take some impromptu picture of him engaging with something. So for example, it gave me the idea to use a bunch of white flowers that is actually available for me at the scene. When you are trying to shoot and something is not working out and you are not exactly sure why, you can ask ChatGPT to help and give you advice. I did this for my portrait session with Danny where I wanted to create a memory for his 17th birthday. I show how I took this image in this video. I was struggling with getting the reflection shot. So I took a photo of my setup and my camera display how the images are turning out, and I explained what I found challenging and what I want to fix, and so it gave me actionable guidance on what I could try. I really feel like I learned a lot from that photo shoot. Linking back to our earlier topic about style, I recently like to experiment with different editing styles, and in order to do that I asked ChatGPT to give me advice how a specific editing style is achieved. So I take a screenshot of an image that I like and I asked this. I really like how this image is edited. Can you describe me what are the characteristics of this editing style and how it could be applied to my image? And if I upload the image that I'm working with, my own image, which I would like to edit similarly, it will give me step-by-step guidance on what I should try in my workflow. Now I find it gives me an overall good advice, but when it comes to the details of how much you need to modify certain aspects, I tend to rely on more of what feels right for me, and I think that's probably the best approach as well, because again, at the end of the day, it is your vision and you know exactly what works and feels best for your photograph. Once you've done the edit, you can screen grab your image and share it and get feedback on how it compares to the other image in terms of its editing style. I think this is a great way to learn and experiment, especially if you are a beginner, but also if you want to progress as a photographer. Now, I talked about how I use ChatGPT for photography, but I think it's also important to recognize that AI is here to help and guide you, but it's not to say that it's going to replace you as a photographer. Ultimately, you are the creative and this is your self-expression. But the question does come up whether we will need photographers in the future, and I think the answer is, at least what we and how we know AI now, that AI can create art and images from what has been seen, but only you or a photographer can create images of what has never seen before. You don't want an artificial creation of your memories. You would like to capture something real. You would like to capture your own personal journey, self-expression. And I'm sure it's going to evolve to something we can't even imagine now. But I think our humanness, our creativity and self-expression will be more important than ever before. Photography is emotional, it's creative, it's messy and it's beautiful. And sometimes it's just really hard to keep going and keep the spark alive when life is so full. And so I find using ChatGPT as a creative assistant is so helpful when I get stuck, and it really helps and motivates me to keep going. Anyways, this was it for today. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see more on photography, seasonal life and motherhood. Press the bell notification to make sure you don't miss out on future content. And if you are interested in more hacks and tips type of videos, check out this playlist here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.